with crossings shut and next to absent land access, aid supplies in Gaza are being faced with massive roadblocks. This comes as agencies continue to warn against a looming famine in the Strip. On Monday, aid delivery trucks were allegedly vandalized by Israeli settlers at the Trukmaya checkpoint in West Bank. Palestinian drivers at the site have called the attack barbaric. Settlers set at least one aid delivery vehicle ablaze and threw multiple boxes with important supplies. As per an eyewitness account, the IDF soldiers who were there on the location did nothing to stop the violence, which has prompted many Palestinian drivers to refuse making aid supplies in Gaza. Meanwhile, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant to discuss increased aid supplies for Palestinian civilians. The Pentagon chief also called for the reopening of crossings, including Rafah and Kerem Shalom. The counterparts touched upon the progress on the aid pier while discussing maritime routes for aid supplies. Austin and Gallant also reviewed efforts to secure the release of hostages held in Hamas's captivity. Austin also asserted the safety of civilians and the flow of aid before Israel launches military operations in Rafah. This was followed by U.S. reassurance over Israel's right to defend itself and the complete defeat of Hamas. Meanwhile, the United States has anchored a floating pier near a beach in Gaza as thousands of Palestinians in the territory battle war-induced starvation. More than a month after announcing the plan for the pier, Washington has now opened up an aid route through the sea. But it seems the suffering Palestinians want nothing to do with it. Palestinians who have been displaced by Israel's incessant blanket bombing across the Strip say they do not need U.S., Israel's biggest ally, to give them any kind of humanitarian help. Gazans have lashed out at the White House's hypocrisy as U.S. continues to provide arms to Israel on one hand, while it offers humanitarian help to Gaza on the other hand.
We reject dealing with the ships and the American ships because in the same way it gives us, it will take away from us. Maybe they want to take over the gas fields that are in the sea, or maybe they are here to displace the Palestinian people and to transfer us from one country to another.
Our homes are gone. What do we want from them? Do they want to bring us some food, some tomatoes, some potatoes or canned food? What do we want with the canned food? They should bring us back our homes, stop the bloodshed. They should come and see how we're living in the open. We're living on the street. Our children are out on the streets. What do we want from them?
Now, beyond the reactions and sentiments of Palestinians adversely affected, the U.S. also faces a logistical dead end when it comes to aid distribution in Gaza. Washington is now facing the same challenge that the UN and other aid groups have been lamenting about for months. Despite the launch of the floating aid pier, the United Nations has said that land access is the most effective way to stave off famine in Gaza. The UN has warned of difficulties over distribution of aid, warning that maritime access was no substitute for land. The US has said that trucks are expected to make way into the Strip in the coming few days.
Getting aid to people in need into and across Gaza cannot and should not depend on a floating dock far from where needs are most acute. To stave off the horrors of famine, we must use the fastest and most obvious route to reach the people of Gaza. And for that, we need access by land now.